So, over the last several videos, right, I've pulled out some analogies, and I'd like to kind of refer back to them today. One of them was a reference as us as a teapot, right? And that we keep filling people's cups. But if we don't replace that tea bag and stop just putting water in it or letting it boil dry, that there's nothing left to give, right? And the other one that I've been referring to most recently is having tools in your toolbox, right? Things you can go to or options that you have when you need help to keep yourself going forward or to prevent yourself from spiraling. And I guess part of what I'm thinking is that in that toolbox, just like a real one, we tend to have broken tools. And just like in real life, we think we can just duct tape the crap out of them and think they'll hold long enough to get us through what we need to get through, right? But they are really still broken. And eventually they're going to have to be thrown away. And we need to have a toolbox full of new and strong and usable, I guess, tools. So let me bring this all to why I'm talking about this. I was at a point where my teapot was really watered down. Like I was barely filling it with water, but life happened, and it does. It happens for everybody. And sometimes what happens is good, and sometimes what happens is not good. But irregardless, we have to keep moving forward. And so I was in that place where I wasn't feeling a spot that I could replenish myself, even if I thought it was frivolous. Like I couldn't even do it because I just didn't feel there was a spot for it. My job was requiring a lot of being very present in the moment and hours outside of the extended workday. And my home life was busy because I had two children and they were going through school and they had activities and I had to take them. And my husband was physically not in a place where he could be helpful to the capacity he normally could be. And so, you just kind of take it on. It's your job to fill in the gaps because it's your turn. And I did. And I'm not really sure that I had a lot of other options except for the fact I could have used a lot of different tools. So I'm using all this analogy kind of in a way to procrastinate what I really think I need to share. And I think it's important that I share it for myself, but I'm also hoping that I can share it for somebody else who might need to pitch a tool. I'd gotten to the point where I was so desperate and I just needed to keep one foot in front of the other, no matter what it took in my mind, that I had started cutting as a way to alleviate some of that stress. Cutting is not a good thing. It's horrible. But there's a reason people resort to it, because in that moment we kind of can find it helpful. And while someone who's never cut looks at that and thinks, how could you physically do something to yourself? It's not about what you're physically doing to yourself. It's about the emotional release that comes as a result. And it's not that you're suicidal, and it's not that you want to die. It's that you just have to let some of that emotion out, or you're going to collapse, and there's just not time for it. I'm not justifying it. I'm just trying to help you wrap your head around it a little bit. And being a grown woman, right, there's a lot of shame that I felt as a result of it. So while I felt like it was keeping me moving forward, I also felt very guilty and horrible about how I was doing that. So I guess my thought is this: be aware of your tools that are broken and that need pitched when you're in a good place. I've hit my 5 minutes today, but I'm going to keep going because I think it's something I need to finish up. Um, when you're in that good spot, you need to make sure that you have pitched tools that you no longer can use them, and that it's full of maybe well-used tools, but they're in strong and they're in good shape. Or there's new tools, and everybody likes new and shiny, right? So you want to pull from them. And it's also important that no matter what you've done, no matter how you've survived, that you need to move past it. Because again, looking back and being in a strong place now, I really am still not sure how I would have gotten through that time. And I know I should have pulled from better things, and my purpose is to never use that tool again. It's completely gone, and I really don't feel a need to use it. But I just want you to know that it's okay if you have tried to move yourself forward in a way that others might not understand. Doesn't mean you should continue to do that, but it doesn't impact the person that you are. And so if you're in that spot, I would highly recommend that you try and find a different tool, try and find a new mechanic who can help you. Even when you know it's wrong, you just don't know what else to do. And I would encourage you to look for help, because I really didn't feel like I could tell anybody. And so therefore I didn't feel like help was an actual option. So I'm definitely over today, but this was something that was kind of hard for me, and I just kind of felt like I needed to. So yeah, I guess that's all I had for today. Get rid of those broken tools. Duct tape does not fix everything. Bye.